This video is going to discuss about sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a pervasive issue. It is an alarming and widespread issue that has persisted throughout history. Regardless of gender or sexual orientation, individuals from all walks of life could be the target of sexual harassment. Even though we often envision a man as the perpetrator and a woman as a victim of sexual harassment, it is also important for us to recognize that anyone, regardless of their gender, could be experiencing sexual harassment. In this video, we are going to shed light about the prevalence of sexual harassment, its impact on individuals, and also to foster a deeper understanding on its various forms.
So let us first define what is sexual harassment. A definition to sexual harassment according to Section 2 of the Employment Act 1955 defines sexual harassment as any unwanted conduct of a sexual nature, whether verbal, non-verbal, visual, gestural, or physical, directed at a person which is offensive or humiliating or is a threat to their well-being arising out of and in the course of their employment.
To understand the problem of harassment in a deep philosophical manner, we have to ask questions like: why does harassment happen? Why does a person harass? What does the harasser want? Is harassment a problem or a disease? Can it be cured? Is the harasser a psychopath? Can the problem of harassment be stopped 100%? And many of these questions, whatever they have an answer or not, because philosophers' questions do not always have an answer. Let's take a look at these quotes. The only way to deal with sexual harassment is to establish a culture of respect, equality, and consent. She was powerful not because she wasn't scared, but because she went so strongly despite the fear. It's not what happened to you, but how you reacted that matters.
Legal consequences of sexual harassment. There are some sections in the Penal Code which may give some protection. Section 354, with the offense of molestation, assault or use of criminal force on a person with intent to outrage her modesty, will be given a punishment of imprisonment maximum of 10 years, or fine, or whipping, or any two of such punishment. Section 355, with assault or use of criminal force with intent to dishonor a person otherwise than on grave provocation, will be given an imprisonment maximum of 2 years, or fine, or both. Section 377d, with the offense of outrages on decency, will be given an imprisonment maximum of 2 years. Section 509, with word or gesture intended to insult the modesty of any person, will be given a punishment of imprisonment maximum of 5 years, or fine, or both.
What are the negative impacts of sexual harassment to victims? Victims of sexual harassment endure significant negative impacts, including emotional distress, mental health issues, and physical health problems. Survivors of sexual harassment are more likely to experience anxiety and depression as a result of sexual harassment. A study by the Journal of Interpersonal Violence mentioned that victims of sexual harassment are at a higher risk of developing mental health issues of depression and PTSD symptoms, and also physical health problems such as headache, sleep disturbance, and gastrointestinal issues compared to those who did not. Victims of workplace harassment can disrupt the victims' professional lives. Victims had to endure negative job consequences such as job loss, demotion, or reduced work hours. This could hinder the victim's career advancement opportunity. Sexual harassment can also strain personal relationships like romantic relationships or relationships with family and friends, leading to difficulties in trust, intimacy, and overall well-being.
Next, I will pass the conversation to our awareness representative, who will address the questions and concerns regarding sexual harassment. They will provide further information and insights on the topic.
Can I make a short interview with you? Sure. How can people get you?
People can get me through their parents, school awareness campaigns, news, and social media.
What's the best place you can speak and don't have difficulty in that?
Social media, because it is easier to express, because people are not shy and more comfortable behind the screen.
Do you think that people have enough knowledge about how to deal with harassers or yet?
Most people know that they have to inform the private authorities whenever they are a bystander or a victim.
So why are cases of harassment still happening so far?
Silence makes this problem present. Some are silent because they don't feel comfortable enough to express or don't know what the law behaves with the harassers. Malaysia's law against harassers: imprisonment maximum 10 years or whipping.
What are your future plans to help stop harassment?
Applying strict laws against harassers, being social media because it enters every house, so it is an easy and practical way. Also being schools, whether their parents teach their children or not, because unfortunately not all parents teach their children how to deal with this problem of harassment.
What is the importance of consent?
Asking shows respect for yourself and your partner. People should understand that when someone says no, it means no.
Thank you for your answer and have a good day.
During the interview with Awareness, it was highlighted that they can be accessed through various channels such as from parents, school, awareness campaigns, news, or social media. Despite the knowledge of reporting harassment, cases still occur due to factors like silence, lack of comfort in expressing, and unfamiliarity with legal actions. Awareness has also expressed future plans to combat with harassment, including stricter law against harassers and presence in social media and education system for prevention purposes. So we as a bystander, it is important for us to recognize the signs of sexual harassment and intervene safely by speaking up, distracting the harasser, or seeking help. We can offer support, report incidents, and create a safe environment to the victim by listening to their experience and validate them.
Contact the Women's Aid Organization at 603 3000 8858 or WhatsApp and SMS them at 6018 988 8058 to report incidents of sexual harassment or to seek help. Remember, speaking up and reaching out is crucial in addressing and preventing sexual harassment. You are not alone and help is always available.
Let's stand together and break the silence to create a society where safety, respect, and consent are the norm.
No, I wasn't, because I was 7. He decided to kiss me.
If a woman is seen as drinking and then therefore she's wild and therefore she's asking for it, and that's actually a massive myth in Singapore's culture.
We were having a fight, I went over, we were supposed to talk about it, but no talking happened.
Before everything happened, I had told him, look, I practice safe sex. How I define it as like sex with a condom on.
Of course, my body was in shock, and I think I struggled a lot when I was growing up.
I was like, why am I still wet, for example? I don't want this to happen, so why is my body reacting as if I want this to happen to me? But that's a misconception where it's just like, it's a very biological reaction where your body is just like, something's like penetrating you, you need lubrication. It's a way to protect yourself and to protect your bodily organs, basically.
The hardest thing that people need to overcome when they survive sexual violence is the overwhelming sense of disempowerment that really disables your entire life in all aspects. Where I am now, I think it's like, it definitely has been like what seems like a long healing journey internally.
Most of people are afraid to talk about sexual assault because the stigma where society assumes that everything related to sex is a taboo. For example, one of the survivors said that when she was telling her mom that she had a sex, the first thing that her mom asked was, "What will your future husband think?" rather than asking if you are safe or is it beyond your consent or not. That's why sexual education is really important. Whatever you were wearing or whatever it was never your fault. You weren't asking for it, you didn't deserve it either. Those are obviously the assailant fault. Every human has a right to be safe. No matter how people think about it, if you want to speak up, then speak it louder. Even if you think every day is struggle and misery, then you can reach out for help or support. Healing is complicated, but later you will finally find the power within yourself.